This is EA Sports coverage of the PGA Tour. We are at one of the most famous venues in all of golf. It is the stadium course at TPC Sawgrass. You know it well, the famous Island 17th. Rich Lerter alongside Frank Nobilo, and it has really grown in stature through the years, hasn't it, Frank?
It has. I think people have got to know the venue, the various holes, and actually on that subject, 17, which you've already just referenced. Remember, this is the one hole on this golf course that was designed by, not Pete, but his wife Alice. They'd designed 17 holes, but they needed one more, and they tried to fit one in between 16 and 18. And Pete Dye, when he was talking to his wife, said, "I'm stuck." And his wife said, "Why not just put one out there, a little island green?" Pete Dye said it would never work. No. In this situation, Alice was right.
Alice, a great player in her own right, an amateur champion. This is the home not only to the Players' Championship, but also headquarters to the PGA Tour. That's good stuff right there. Wonderful approach, and now a really good look at birdie. Locked in on the read and the speed. One under early in the round. Second hole, it's a par 5.
You'd think birdie or eagle off this tee, and we've seen a lot during the Players' Championship, but once again, you have to move that tee shot right to left, but be careful of those pines. The game's about rhythm. When you have good rhythm, it just looks effortless. To hit the ball 300 yards through the air, that easy.
Well, those are good numbers right there. 320, 320 yards, just crushed it in the fairway. Second shot coming up here at the par 5. Just a superb shot.
You're not going to see much better than that all day today.
Makeable putt right here. He is currently sitting at 1 under for the round. Frank, this is the kind of start every player wants.
Yeah, swinging it well. Certainly hitting the ball in the right place there, and yep, good thing too. He's actually putting well.
Frank, a nice mix of holes to start. So here we go with the par 3 at the third.
Very narrow at the front of the screen, and that bunker too, you don't actually see it off the tee, the back left bunker, and it sneaks into that left side. So if that flag is on the left, just be careful. Second shot.
Ooh, what a shot right there. Beautifully done. Frank, how difficult is it to access the hole location if you miss the fairway here at 4?
Well, if you miss it left, I've got to say the lesser of two evils is to be in the bunker on the right. Oh, it's fine.
This is how the game is supposed to be played. This has been just outstanding. Beautiful to watch. Let's see what Mcllroy does now with his second.
Should be safely on deck.
On the green in regulation. Frank going for another birdie here.
Just to get on a real roll.
And he has it, Frank.
I don't believe it.
Fifth hole here at TPC Sawgrass, long par 4. What's the challenge, Frank?
Depending, really, if you're long or short hitter. The long hitters have the luxury of taking it over the corner of the bunker down the right. Shorter hitters really play at that bunker down the left, 320 run out.
Frank, he is one of the longest hitters in the game, but at some point, you have to hit a fairway.
Yeah, he's certainly not the straightest. I think that was the bit you're going to put in the middle.
Not terrible, but not his best.
Yeah, outside chance, really, for birdie, but really, it was a rather poor approach shot.
So a long putt there and just didn't read it quite Settles in over the putt. Wow, he got robbed, Frank.
No, it's like kissing your mother-in-law.
Just a tap in to finish the hole. Well, it was bound to come to an end at some point. Drops just one shot after that terrific stretch of birdies. Frank, what are the players facing here at the 6th 393-yard par 4?
Ideally, just want to hit that ball about 250 yards. It's going to leave you a shot of sort of 140 yards in. Then the green looks quite big because you're far enough back that those palm trees don't become a problem.
That is tasty looking right there, Frank. Just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from there.
Respectable shot right there. 20 feet or so from the hole. Boy, this could be a tough one right here, Frank.
It's a very long putt, Rich. Obviously, it's difficult, but he still has a shot to sink this one for birdie.
Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
4 under on the day. Frank, the 7th hole here at the TPC Sawgrass, vintage Pete Dye, isn't it?
It is. Anything other than straight confuses the player off the tee. But there's 3 pot bunkers down the right side. Just inside that last little pot bunker on the left of that, it's actually a pretty good line.
Interesting, with the almost space-age advancements in golf equipment, what with new, lighter materials, and with the increased focus on fitness and strength, players are hitting the ball longer than ever. That has forced architects to lengthen the golf courses without sacrificing the integrity or the shot value of the original design. And it makes the green in regulation. This is a pretty long putt here. You'd be happy to get this to within 2 or 3 feet. You really want to take the stress out of that next putt. Well, you can't make them all. You'd like to, but you can't. He has this for par. Knocked that down for par, remains at 4 under. Frank, 17 here at TPC Sawgrass gets all the attention when you look at the par 3s. Justifiably so. But number 8 is a daunting challenge in its own right.
It is. Longest of the 4 par 3s. Plus, it's just littered with bunkers around the side, the back, and the front.
So a chance for birdie after another solid approach shot. Rory Mcllroy looking to take advantage with this putt.
Obviously, you can't make them all from that distance, Rich, but you'd like to give it a real good run.
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Routine stuff for Rory, that's a par. Frank, now at the 9th, this really is one of my favorite par 5s in the entire sport.
And I certainly enjoy watching people play it today, Rich. It used to be unreachable, but the longer hitters now, we're starting to see them go for this par 5 regularly in 2. And the reason why they start to hit the drive more down the right now than what they used to. People used to try and go down the left side. The right side, it hugs the water, but you get a better view of the second shot.
And from the fairway for his second shot here. That should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. Well, that one didn't work out. Didn't look bad in the air. It hit the green, but didn't sit.
Yeah, it was never going to stop.
Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in.
I mean, this skill, and that was sublime.
Just good hands, coming out of the rough, able to manage the distance, and now in great position. Makes birdie, continuing to amaze on the greens, Frank.
Putted well all day, Rich. Had a couple of good holes early on and just, I think, found the groove. Has taken it to another level.
No fairway here, this one in that rough. So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. See if he does it here. Oh, that was solid, Rich. This one's safely on.
Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Now the time to be aggressive. Par 5, 558-yard, 11th hole, Frank. What's the key here?
Tee it high and let it fly. This is the big chance here. This is one of the widest fairways on the golf course. This is where you chance it all.
Nice long tee shot there and a good lie, Frank. Looking to keep it going here, Frank.
Yeah, another example of things just working as they should.
Into the thick stuff. That's a difficult lie. Safely aboard. Clean this up with a tap. Dropping like dominoes out here. 6 under par. Another birdie. Frank, what's so much fun about TPC Sawgrass is the excitement that it generates for a fan and how many different holes there are. 12 is a good example.
Yeah, 12 looks like it's fresh from Scotland. You can see why Pete Dye spent a lot of time over there. Tee shot looks straight away, but the second shot is blind. The shot you'd get in Scotland with a wedge where you just see the top of the flagstick and you've got to really guesstimate on the yardage that you have. But a good wedge shot and someone that can judge their distance, this is certainly a birdie hole.
Oh my goodness, he just made that. I cannot believe it.
I was thinking might get it close, and just a great shot.
And Frank, we always like when they have the whole location back left and that ball trickles down, feeds, and you can see some really good ones and maybe even an ace here.
Yeah, just like Mickelson a few years ago. Down there, it looked like it was going to flirt with a bunker, ran up and over the ridge, and in it goes. This is one where you have to play ground ball as well as high ball.
Well, that would have been a bonus had it gone in, but still, reasonable chance for par here.
Yeah, there's no damage. You're not going to birdie every hole.
Par for Mcllroy, but you're just waiting for that moment when he hits that accelerator and pulls away. Well, this one has a chance to be really good.
Oh, that's fine.
That's an absolute tracer right there. In the fairway and well over 320 yards. Let's see what Mcllroy does now with his second. This is a good-looking shot. Good, clean contact and a nice result. And a chance for birdie coming up. Getting set now over the putt. Ranking up the birdie stats today. How about this? 7 birdies on the card. Now to the 15th, and Frank, I know this is a hole that you really like.
Yeah, it gets no respect in my book, which I think is a shame. Just a nice dogleg to the right. And really 2 good shots and a 3 here, which is actually a rarity. It sets you up for those closing 3 holes. Too often people just take 15 lightly. And 15 has just a gentle nibble that turns into a bite.
Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin. Oh no, look out, Frank. I think he flushed that one.
Oh, this is going, gone.
Wow, lucky break right there, Frank.
Well, that's what everyone else is going to say, except him. Really. This is an awkward length.
Oh, man. You can't miss him from that distance. Just a tap in to finish the hole. Did the job right there. Now the start of the gauntlet. 16, 17, and 18. Par 5, 16. Frank, Tiger made birdie here all 4 days in winning in 2013.
Fred Couples made that fantastic eagle many years ago. Hole bends a little to the player's left. You don't have to hit driver here if you're a long hitter, but you really must move that ball right to left. There's always advantage of hitting it further than most, Rich, and straighter than most. When you put the two together, it's just straight up a head start.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
Frank landed it on the green.
It was never going to stop.
No chance. Now the game's #1 player, Rory Mcllroy, ready with his approach. See if he can get this one to drop here at the 16th for a birdie. Not a gimme, but well within his range. You may have lost track at home, but we're keeping count, and that is 9 under for the day. Frank, it's the moment that makes it tough, isn't that right?
Yeah, you've made that walk from 16 green. It's 80 yards to the tee here. So as you walk along, and if your eyes venture to the right, you see it all in front of you. You see the crowd behind, and you realize this is the shortest par 3 on the golf course. But you also, if you think a little too hard, everything that you've seen over the years flashes through your mind.
13 feet away. Ooh, so close.
Just a fraction too aggressive. Remember, line and speed go together.
Sometimes you want that birdie so badly, and all of a sudden you're faced with a lot of work, more work than you had hoped for, just to make the par. People always talk about 17 being visually intimidating. Frank, what about 18?
If there's a little bit of wind off the right, the tee shot is so much easier. But if that wind is coming off the water, not only do you see the water and the wooden bulkheads, you see all the rough and the trees on the right. And of course, then you start bringing 5, 6, 7, even 8 into play. That's what makes this tee shot so hard.
Frank, really challenging second shot here at the home hole, the 18th.
You have to be decisive going in here. You can see all the trouble in front of you, water left, that mounding on the right. Neither place really is good to go. So somehow you've got to muster up your best shot.
No doubt they'll be happy with that shot. Well played. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. That's a birdie for Mcllroy. He's just so explosive. Frank, a lot to like in this performance today.
Oh, it is. There's so many positives to take out of this round. Not just the possibility to win this week, but going forward. This is great golf that you would hold up against anybody right now.